And our final presentation will be on the implementation of products produced by the Emulsion Task Force by Larry Galehouse from the National Center for Pavement Preservation.
Hello, my name is Larry Galehouse, and I'm going to give you many of you have heard there's a group of experts working under the TSP2 umbrella called the Emulsion Task Force, or the ETF, and my report is set up to update you on the activities and deliverables that we've made so far through the ETF. There's a lot of people involved in the ETF, and just to give you an idea, we have a cross-section of the volunteers representing Illinois DOT, Minnesota, Montana, Ohio, Oregon, and Rhode Island. We have testing labs involved such as Heritage, MTE Services, Paragon, PRI. We have academia, Chico State University, Colorado State, Texas A&M, and University of Texas. Federal Highway, Direct Federal Lands Highway Division in Lakeland is involved. Astral Resources, these are the folks that accredit the labs across the country. We have many producers, Asphalt Materials, Associated Asphalt, BASF, Ergon, Flint Hills Resource, Husky Energy, Creighton Polymers, Marathon Petroleum, and MTE Services. And the National Center is representing the TSP2. We have other organizations and associations involved with the ETF, the Asphalt Institute, the Asphalt Emulsions Manufacturer Association. We have ERA, which is the Asphalt Reclaiming and Recycling Association. We have FP Squared, which is the Foundation for Pavement Preservation. We have ISSA, which is the International Slurry Surfacing Association. And we have the National Center of Asphalt Technology, NCAT. All total, we have probably 77 members and friends. We have a big amount of volunteers, and they all work and volunteer their time. And so it's quite an operation. Many of you maybe didn't realize, but up until a few years ago, there were no national standards for any pavement preservation treatment. And today, the ETF has produced a number of standards for treatments, and we're continuing to even do more. And you can see that chip seals have a complete round of standards. And what we're talking about in the first column are the materials. The second column is the designs. And the last column, which is currently in for review and approval, are the construction guide specs. Also, there's a group within the ETF that are working on best practices for each one of these treatments. You can see that there's check marks right now that are on a certain number of treatments. You can see the construction guide specs for chip seal and micro and fog. They've been sent in for approval, and I'm going to discuss that in a minute. The scrub seal materials and the Nova chip materials and design have been submitted, but also the ETF goes beyond just submitting specs because they've been involved with the NCHRP process. For example, they have written the problem statements for NCHRP 1444 and 962 and the 1443, and also they've submitted the problem statement for NCHRP 963. There's quite a lot of work that has been done by the ETF. One of the things that may interest you is this 963. ETF wrote a framework spec, and it was picked up by NCHRP, and the PI on it now is Mike Anderson from the Asphalt Institute. And the whole idea of performance graded emulsions and what we'll call surface performance graded emulsions will change the way that we select emulsions in the future. No longer are they going to be just a hard asphalt or a soft asphalt. It's going to be a climate related asphalt similar to what our PG standards are. I just wanted everybody to be aware that there's a lot of information out there. In the past, states had to set up their own specs because there were no national standards. Now we're pulling national standards together. And this is a big thing, particularly for the consulting industry, because the consulting firms are really in need of national standards. In order to get these approved, I just want to give you an idea that it's a long process. First, the spec has got to be reviewed by a technical section of the AASHTO Committee on Material and Pavements. And we have 3 technical sections that we're dealing with. 2A is for emulsions, 5B happens to be for preservation treatments, and 5C happen to be for quality assurance issues. So it's quite an exhaustive review. Then it goes to the membership, but in the process, every comment has to be responded to before it's balloted. And even after balloting, it could be additional comments that have to be addressed. And this whole process takes a long time, 1 to 2 years to get one through, and that's if everything goes well. And each one of these have to be approved by at least 2/3 of all the 50 states. So having a national standard is a big deal. And you can see the construction guides that are now in for review. We have the construction guide for emulsified asphalt chip seals, hot applied asphalt chip seals, microsurfacing, and emulsified asphalt fog seals. We also have 2 QA specifications in. They're the emulsion chip seal quality assurance guide and the slurry systems quality assurance guide. Now, for those of you, just a quick review, quality assurance is really 3 areas. It's quality control, agency acceptance, and independent assurance programs. Along with this, we're currently working on incentives and disincentives for various pavement preservation treatments. And the whole idea of the incentives is really to improve the quality of what we have out on the grade. So it's very, very important to follow what we've done and just to tag along and to, if necessary, copy some of these things into incorporate into your own specifications. One of the things that's often talked about is research, but research really doesn't have any value unless it's implemented. One of the programs NCHRP has is a 20-44 program, and this program is strictly for implementation of research that has been done through NCHRP. We have just been awarded, and I'm saying we, the National Center, has just been awarded an NCHRP 20-44 project, and this is for implementing the research that was done in 1437, which is really the development of guide specifications for the construction of chip seals and microsurfacing in addition to fog seals. What is the goal of this implementation program? It's really to get all of the states looking at these specs, and we would love to have the specs adopted by the states. That's what the whole effort is about. We have a number of tasks in this project, and they're going to impact each and every one of you for your agencies. First, there's going to be a training program, and the training courses are being prepared for engineers and another one for technicians for emulsion and emulsified asphalt treatments. Under this, we're required to put together a whole area of media materials, PowerPoints, training manuals, workbooks, and technical brochures that will be provided for agencies that request it. Another task is demonstrations. What the goal is to conduct a demonstration of each one of these treatments in the 4 AASHTO regions using the construction guide specifications, the provisional material and design specs to showcase the new concepts to the agencies about how to build these successful asphalt surface treatments. I think you'll be surprised in some of the things that are in the specs because it's really raising the bar on quality. Also, we would like to have agencies provide existing projects that you already have programmed or will be programming for microsurfacing, chip seal, and fog seals for construction either next year or the following year. And what we will do with that is we will help the agency get this thing rolling. We will help you put together the specifications if that's necessary. Whatever you need, we're there to help. What I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a homework assignment, each and every one of you. And what we would like to have you do is work through your department to help us find demo projects. We will, through our outreach effort, one of our tasks, we will be contacting the leadership of your departments and giving them a quick briefing on the new specifications and the value to the agency to take a look at them and consider the adoption. But meanwhile, we would like to have you work through the program, brief your senior leadership of the department what's coming through to them. And if you have a demo project, something that's already programmed, we would love to help you work on it. We have limited funds available for other agencies to come in and view the demo project. But again, that's limited funds. With that, that's what I have to talk about with you today. And if there's any burning questions, I'd be happy to answer them. But otherwise, thank you for your time.
The preceding was produced by the National Center for Pavement Preservation. More information can be found on the web at pavementpreservation.org. Additional support provided by Michigan State University.